In August, Miracle League Field celebrated opening day at Friendship Park, literally leveling the playing field for everyone. The community came together to make the 11th annual Dragon on the Lake Festival the biggest and best ever. Oakland County mourned the loss of Executive L. Brooks Patterson, who passed away on August 3rd after a battle with pancreatic cancer. And longtime Lake Orion Police Chief Jerry Narsh retired from his position in November, only to begin a new chapter with the Holly Police Department. Hello everyone, I'm Stacy Calloway. Those are just some of the stories that shaped the Orion area in 2018. Coming up, we'll take a look back at this past year on this edition of ONTV News. Looking back at 2019, the Lake Orion community took part in numerous festivals, ribbon-cutting ceremonies, parades, fundraisers, and 5Ks. And as usual, our ONTV cameras were there for many of them to capture history being made. Let's kick things off with the very first story we covered on New Year's Day 2018. On the morning of New Year's Day, more than 250 runners and walkers gathered in downtown Lake Orion for the start of the 19th annual Resolution Run. Participants checked in at Lockhart's Barbecue before heading over to the starting line on Lapeer Street near Flint Street. At 10 a.m., the race was underway. Fairly pleasant weather brought out near record numbers. The course took runners through the streets of the village, across Paint Creek, into Meeks Park and north on Broadway to the finish line. It took 2 laps to complete the 5K race. It was the first time Hanson's Running Shop organized the event, and after years of being hosted by the Lake Orion DDA.
The Lake Orion DDA, they didn't want to see the race go away, and obviously neither did we, but I guess it was within the DDA that they figured it wasn't their responsibility to host the race, so they wanted a local business to take it over. We're more than happy and willing to do so, and we wanted to keep everything here local as far as supporting the charities and, you know, just bringing everyone out for a nice hometown race.
Finishing first overall was Ryan Mahalski of Hillsborough, New Jersey. Ryan finished with a time of 14:55.
You know, I just wanted to start 2019 the right way. You know, 2018 was a rough year for me, and just wanted to get off to a good start, and I did, so I'm happy about that. Fighting some injuries, but my pace is good.
On Thursday, January 24th, representatives of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce gathered at Planet Fitness in the Lake Orion Plaza to celebrate its official grand opening.
1, 2, 3. This was such a fantastic experience. I mean, this chamber is clearly very close-knit. They've been so welcoming to us, so attentive, really helpful in the planning of this. They actually made my job really easy. You know, I said we wanted to do a ribbon cutting, we wanted to join, we wanted to immerse ourselves in the community, and they kind of took care of the rest. So they deserve a lot of credit for what you're seeing tonight.
The Lake Orion location opened its doors to the public in October of 2018, one of 1,600 locations around the globe. The 30,000 square foot facility is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On the evening of Saturday, January 26th, almost 300 people gathered at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Orion Road for the 6th annual Trivia Night benefiting Blessings in a Backpack. Teams representing local businesses and schools took part in 10 rounds of trivia and also had a chance to win door prizes donated by local businesses. Participants were also treated to a buffet dinner courtesy of Janetti's Hole in the Wall of Plymouth. The evening was emceed by Orion Township Supervisor Chris Burnett and Fox 2 Detroit's Dina Sinafani.
Well, you know, first of all, it's just fun because we're playing trivia. It's a great way to raise money, and also we learn. I always learn something every year. These questions are really hard, but also the money is making such an impact on kids in Lake Orion. It takes a lot of money. Nobody gets paid. Take all the money, buy groceries, they fill backpacks so that kids who don't have food at home can get a backpack and kind of quietly and without embarrassment take that food home, and it makes a huge difference in their lives.
The event is the largest fundraiser of the year for Blessings in a Backpack, a program that helps feed children that might otherwise go hungry over the weekend.
We feed about 300 kids every single week, and so it costs about $100 a person each year, each child. And so this is what all this money goes to, is to feed the kids. $100 a kid per year.
On Saturday, February 2nd, dozens of avid golfers gathered near Pelton's Point for the start of the 5th annual Ice Cup Golf Challenge. Just days prior to the event, Michigan experienced record-breaking freezing temperatures, but the weather warmed up enough for golfers to enjoy a scramble made up of 8 holes on the lake and 1 on Broadway Street in downtown Lake Orion. One hole had golfers teeing it up with a slingshot from a nearby rooftop.
This is our 5th annual, and we get a lot of repeats, and people love it. It's a time to get out from the cold in the winter and have a little fun with golf on the ice here.
Following the golf outing, participants gathered at Lockhart Barbecue in downtown Lake Orion, where they took part in raffles and refreshments. Money raised at the event supports the efforts of the Lake Orion Sunrise Rotary. On the morning of Saturday, February 9th, ONTV staff and volunteers gathered at the Orion Center for the start of the 9th annual 5 or 5 food drive benefiting the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. At 10 a.m. sharp, hosts Kylie Barber and Kendall Ashman went live on local cable TV to encourage viewers to drop off non-perishable food items or cash donations for a chance to win raffle items donated by local businesses and members of the community. ONTV Executive Director Ian Locke said that the food drive takes place in February to help stock the shelves during a lull between the holidays and the post office food drive in the spring.
9 years ago, the idea came about to do something in the winter months to get our volunteers active in our studio. And staff got together and said, we should do something that gives back to our local community. And fish popped up because, food pantries always need support year-round. And we reached out to Fish 9 years ago, and they said, absolutely, we really need you guys to do this. This is fantastic because the run on the holiday traffic from Thanksgiving through New Year really drains their shelves. So having this bridge to get to the very large food drives they do in the springtime is essential to keeping those shelves stocked.
Later in the day, volunteers arrived to transfer the food donations into milk crates to be delivered to the Fish Food Pantry. As the food drive wound down near 4 p.m., raffle tickets were drawn and winners announced at the end of the day. It was announced that ONTV had exceeded its goal of 6,000 pounds, including a new record of $2,553 in cash donations. On the evening of Saturday, February 9th, the Orion Art Center hosted its 30th annual gala at the Paint Creek Country Club in Lake Orion. Almost 200 people came out to enjoy a buffet dinner and to take part in a silent auction and raffles. The proceeds from a 50-50 raffle went toward the Joan Brace Scholarship for students studying art. The goal was to raise $17,000 at the event.
Every year, basically right after the last one, we start planning again, and this is our 30th year. So how this one came about is we said, let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to what really built the Orion Art Center, and that is our artists, our local artists. So we went back to our motto, Imagine, Express, Discover. All artists have it, or even if you're not an artist, you have it. It might just be that you need a little nudge to bring it out. So we wanted to honor our 30th year with our motto and what built us.
Each year, the Art Center recognizes the Artist of the Year and the Patron of the Arts. Executive Director Karen Starrick explains.
The Artist of the Year is someone who has put his art or their art pieces in our exhibits at our gallery and either won or is just a big supporter of the Art Center. And that award tonight goes to Ron Finch. He's a local, he creates and builds custom motorcycles, but he also does this new artwork where he's making pieces out of recycled art. And Patron of the Arts is a person who has given of their time and their resources and just a lot of contributions to the Art Center, and that person this year is Heather Muzzy.
I had never even thought that I'd be that person, so I was totally shocked. But it does help. I did a lot of volunteering in the past, not always where the public sees it, but things behind the scenes or shout my little opinions and my 2 cents a whole lot. And I was always flattered when they took my opinions and put them into action.
On the evening of Saturday, February 23rd, approximately 200 attendees came out to Kings Court Castle at Canterbury Village for the 4th annual Taste of the Town event benefiting the Lake Orion Lions Club. 18 restaurants from the Orion Oxford area served up their specialties, and those in attendance took part in silent and live auctions.
We're hoping that it's people not necessarily from the Lions or church, but the whole community, and that they see what we do, that the volunteer efforts that we make, we turn back and give it back to the community in need.
On the evening of Saturday, March 2nd, members of the Lake Orion community arrived at Paint Creek Country Club in support of the Orion Firefighters Association's 35th annual Fireman's Ball. Those in attendance enjoyed an evening of dinner and music and took part in raffles and a silent auction.
So this is 100% our flagship event. We have a couple smaller events throughout the year, like our golf outing, which is kind of a topic again tonight. But this is really the big fundraiser that we do every year that allows us to carry on our initiatives and a lot of our projects and donations throughout the community all year long.
Money raised at the event allows the OFFA to sponsor a youth baseball team, offers scholarships to those seeking a career in emergency services, and help families who have lost their home and belongings to fire. The goal was to raise $20,000.
On the morning of Friday, March 22nd, the media was invited to the GM Orion Assembly Plant to witness a major announcement. Plant manager Jim Quick introduced the dignitaries in attendance and then invited GM Chair and CEO Mary Barra up to the stage to make the announcement.
We are going to be making two very, very important announcements this morning. These announcements continue something I want to be very, very clear about. GM is absolutely committed to investing in and growing good-paying manufacturing jobs in the United States, jobs that strengthen us today and will improve our position for the future. Both of our announcements today reaffirm that commitment, our commitment to bring more manufacturing jobs and investment to the U.S., and our commitment to furthering our investments in new technology and an all-electric future. So I am incredibly pleased to announce this morning that General Motors will be investing $300 million and adding 400 new jobs to this facility to produce an all-new Chevrolet electric vehicle.
The new electric vehicle will be manufactured alongside the Orion Assembly Plant's Chevy Sonic, Bolt EV, and Cruise AV test vehicles. I got reactions from some of the dignitaries in attendance, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
This is great news for the state of Michigan. Obviously, it's going to have a big benefit to Orion Township, but it's also about making a longer-term investment here in our state. We've got the best workforce on the planet. We've got the kind of expertise and skills, and so this is really important. Now I got to fix the damn roads so that they are able to sustain and support what's going on here and keep us safe on the road.
I mean, it's great news, and we need great news. It was a doubling down of investment in a facility that's top of the line on safety and productivity, and the workers are amazing. And so they invested in cars that are going to take us into the future. And if the future is electric and autonomous, I want to build them here. So it was great. It was a fantastic announcement.
Great news, and I'm not really surprised, but the fact that they're investing 400 new jobs, $300 million right here in Orion Township is remarkable. This is the only plant in the world that builds a combustible vehicle, an autonomous vehicle, and an electric vehicle, and it's happening right here in Orion Township. So it's not just for the people and the employees of this plant, but the entire region, all the jobs that are created by this, the support they provide to our local gas stations and restaurants. It's just amazing news.
It makes Orion Township be able to thrive into the future, and we're excited for the jobs and the prosperity in which this plant will bring and continue to bring for Orion Township. So we are thankful, and it was obvious the excitement in the room that everybody feels the exact same way.
On the morning of Saturday, March 23rd, 164 fifth graders formed 37 teams to compete in the library's 34th annual Battle of the Books. 4 months ago, participants were given 12 books to read, representing a wide variety of genres. At the event, the students formed teams and were asked 50 questions. They were awarded points if they could come up with the correct title and author. Many teams arrived at Walden Middle School dressed in colorful costumes.
It's mostly just for team spirit and camaraderie. They come up with a name, and a lot of them get together. They sew their costumes. A lot of them they just come together, and it makes them more excited to participate.
And what's your favorite part about being at the Battle of the Books and seeing all these kids enjoy reading so much?
Yeah, that's it. You just said it. Just enjoying reading and being excited about finding out new books. A lot of them will read a book that they may have not picked up off the shelf on their own, and they're kind of forced to read it with this competition, and then maybe they'll like it, and then they'll explore new genres or different types of books.
On Monday, March 25th, the teams were invited to the Lake Orion High School auditorium to take part in an awards ceremony. The guest of honor was author Ruth Behar, whose book, Lucky Broken Girl, was one of the 12 read by the students. The book is described as a multicultural coming-of-age novel for young readers.
I wanted to tell a story based on my life about things that happened about 50 years ago. And it was a story of adversity, of being in a body cast for a year. Really terrible time in our lives and in my family's life. And I wanted to share that story with kids and show that even though it was a very horrible, terrible time, we also got over it and survived. And actually some good things came out of something that was so terrible.
After the author's presentation, library staff presented certificates to every team who took part in the event. Awards were presented for most spirit and best team name. The final team called up to the stage was the Book Nook Narwhals, made up of students representing Paint Creek and Orion Oaks elementary schools. The team scored 94 points out of a possible 100 and were named the winner of the 2019 Battle of the Books competition.
Good job, Dan, the highest score from Saturday.
This has been just a totally beautiful experience, this Battle of the Books. I've never been to anything like this, and just seeing kids so excited about books and enjoying books and viewing books as fun was just really delightful and very hopeful.
On the evening of Saturday, March 30th, the Knights of Columbus Hall on Orion Road was the site of the 5th Annual Lions Races. The building was at near capacity as 175 people gathered to bet on the results of 8 races that took place throughout the night. Proceeds generated from the event allowed the Lake Orion Lions Club to offer scholarships to local students.
It's a little bit of a party atmosphere. This is the end of the winter. Let's get ready for spring break. People come out. They have a lot of fun. They bet on the Lions. Hopefully they bet a lot on the Lions. So our proceeds from this go directly to our scholarship fund. We give 2 students here a $500 or more scholarship for all 4 years they're in college. So this helps fund that. And I want to thank the Lake Orion community for supporting this.
20 wooden lions were decorated by local businesses and organizations, including one representing ONTV. 6 lions would race at a time, with giant fuzzy dice determining which lions would advance. Those in attendance were also encouraged to take part in raffles, including 2 separate 50-50 raffles.
We've got one of the greatest communities you could ever want to live in. And not only for the Lions, the Knights were doing Tootsie Rolls at the Kroger store this weekend. This community has a lot of spirit, and it shows in everything that the groups in the community do. So thank you again, Lake Orion.
On the evening of Friday, April 12th, ONTV hosted its annual Volunteer Appreciation Banquet at Kings Court Castle at Canterbury Village. Executive Director Ian Locke welcomed those in attendance and played a video that showed highlights from many of the programs that have been produced by volunteers and staff over the past year.
Volunteer Appreciation Banquet is the one time a year we can gather all of our active volunteers together in one space and have the staff of ONTV just say thank you. Without their input and talents and skills and energy, what are we? What is ONTV? We're a community media center. Without people producing media for us at the center, we'll have nothing. So they really are the backbone of what we are, how we function, that sort of thing. So we're so appreciative of our volunteers, and 2018 was an interesting year. We had some new productions come online. We also had milestones for other episodes, a 7-year anniversary for one show, 300th episode for another. So the people that come and work with us, our volunteers, they stick around a while. So it means we're doing something right and they're having a good time.
After dinner, awards were handed out in several categories. Named Producer of the Year was George Sinnott, who got involved with ONTV through the Senior Center and has been producing a series called Active Living since 2013.
I was completely shocked. You know, there's a lot of great programs here at ONTV, and to be selected was just fantastic.
What do you get out of it? What does public access and ONTV mean to you? Why do you keep coming back and doing what you're doing?
Well, I try to do it as a service to the community, so that community can understand what's going on in the rest of the world. And we do a lot of travel shows, as you know. And we also do shows with people who travel around the country, people who have hobbies, and we've even interviewed some politicians. So, you know, we kind of run the gamut on a lot of different kinds of shows, but mostly travel shows.
Named Volunteer of the Year was our own Stacy Calloway, who got involved with ONTV in 2017 and is not only the anchor on ONTV News, but has also hosted numerous live broadcasts and events.
Honestly, I was shocked. As we said, the tables were turned. This was a great opportunity, and I love doing what I do. It's a passion of mine, and I just want to keep doing it.
What brings you in? Why do you keep coming in and volunteering your time, and not only just on the newscast, but all the other things that you've taken part in over the year? Why do you keep coming in?
Like I said, it's a passion of mine, and I like being a part of the community, talking, speaking to them about what's going on in the news, and just being a part of everyday events.
And receiving the Spirit of Public Access Award was Jasmine French for all the hard work she puts into producing her series, Faith Talk.
I was so ecstatic. I couldn't even believe I was going to be called for an award, and Lake Orion on TV has just been such a blessing to me, being able to produce my show and be an outreach to people who need words of encouragement. So it was just really awesome. Today was a good night.
Talk about the origins of your show and what's the message that you want to get out through your show.
The message I want to get out through Faith Talk is for everyone to not be afraid of their own stories and have courage to share things that they've overcome in life, and to just encourage everyone to keep pushing forward.
On Saturday, April 13th, 150 kids and their family members arrived at the Orion Center to take part in Orion Township's annual Bunny Bop event. Organizers created 3 sessions throughout the day to accommodate the enormous turnout. Attendees enjoyed snacks and created crafts. There was a photo opportunity with the Easter Bunny, and the weather was nice enough that the staff was able to scatter treat-filled plastic Easter eggs on the grounds behind the Orion Center for an Easter egg hunt.
I want kids to have fun. I want family experiences where moms and dads can come out with their families and have a really good time in our parks.
While the little ones had fun on Saturday, the Parks and Rec staff offered a brand new Easter event to those who had outgrown the Bunny Bop. On Thursday, April 11th, kids ranging in age from 9 to 14 were invited to come out to Cap Agawam for the first ever flashlight egg hunt. Attendees braved chilly temperatures to enjoy a campfire and hunt for Easter eggs in the dark.
A few days ago, we initiated a new program for teens. A lot of kids didn't want to stop coming to the Bunny Bop when they aged out at 8 or 9, so we opened up a new program called the Flashlight Egg Hunt, and that program was for 9 to 14-year-olds, and they came out to Camp Agawam. We hid the eggs, and we hid them in the dark at Fort Pontiac, and we had about 50 kids come out and do our Flashlight Egg Hunt this year.
On Saturday, April 27th, the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce hosted its 5th annual Healthy Body, Healthy Mind Expo at the Orion Center. 40 vendors were on hand to offer tips and information, and several vendors offered healthy food and desserts.
Thinking beyond just healthy body, healthy mind. There are a lot of things that I think that we all agree that contribute to a healthier environment overall. So we're standing next to our presenting sponsor, Genesis. I believe if you're financially healthy, then that takes a lot of stress away, right? So it's not just that, it's environmental health, it's mental health, it's physical health, it's all kinds of different things that you can do. These people can help you make just a healthier environment all around for yourself.
The first expo was held in 2015 at Kingsport Castle. It moved to Walden Middle School in 2017, but came to the Orion Center for the first time since the Chamber now has its offices in the lower level of the building.
You know what, it's convenient and exciting, and I do just really want to take a minute to give a big shout out to the staff here at the Orion Center. Since we moved in, they've really embraced us being here, and we feel part of the team almost. We're still separate from the township, we're still just the chamber, but it's the people in this building that are really helping us to feel like we're right at home.
While all that was going on, Orion Township was coordinating the 4th annual Green Up Orion. Volunteers checked in at the Orion Center before heading out into the community to clean up areas that were in desperate need of a little sprucing up.
Surprising, the weather's nice. Usually we have 40-degree weather, rain, a little bit of snow, but this year it's beautiful. So it's a 4th annual Green Up. We have projects all throughout the community where volunteers, families, businesses come in, and we assign projects throughout the community to just make it beautiful. With the snowpack, all the debris over wintertime, it's just an opportunity to go out, take some time, make Orion a little greener.
Across the country, not only was Saturday, May 4th known as Star Wars Day, it also happened to be Free Comic Book Day. The Orion Township Public Library took full advantage of the opportunity and created an event that was a mashup of Star Wars, comic books, and all things pop culture.
So this is Orion Fandom Fest. It is a celebration of comics, video games, anime, cosplay, and all things nerdy.
Visitors were encouraged to dress up as their favorite fictional character and enjoyed refreshments, crafts, movies, video games, and more.
So every year we try to do one big fandom event. In the past we've done Harry Potter Day, we've done Star Wars Day before. Star Wars Day is also Free Comic Book Day, so we just decided to combine them all into one big event that everybody can enjoy, and not just Star Wars fans, but fans of every different fandom.
What do you hope the kids that come into the library today come away with?
That we're more than just books. We've got a huge video game collection. We've got graphic novels. There's lots to do here other than just, check out a book, which we absolutely want you to do. But there's a lot of different things and a lot of different opportunities at the library here for people of all ages.
The Lake Orion Flower and Art Fair kicked off on Friday, May 10th, and continued through Saturday, May 11th. Although the temperatures were a bit chilly, that didn't seem to affect the turnout. Broadway and Flint Street were closed to traffic to allow more than 110 vendors, offering everything from flowers and plants to jewelry and art. Community groups got in on the fun, and visitors also enjoyed plenty of food and entertainment.
This is Lake Orion's premier celebration of spring. As you know, Orion Township is where living is vacation, and we started right now. This is the beginning of the summer season, and there are beautiful flowers here. They're excellent gifts for your yard and for your mother or anybody else that you need to get presents for. This is the place to get them.
My goal is to make it something that I would be proud to bring my mom to. This is a Mother's Day and a springtime event, and so when we were looking for vendors, we wanted something that would make Mom go, ooh, and gardeners go, ah, and then their families go, oh, that's exactly what I know Mom would love for Mother's Day. Yeah. So that's what we were thinking of when we were bringing all of these amazing different kinds of vendors in.
Now in its 19th year, the Flower Fair expanded south on Broadway past Children's Park, where performers entertained the crowd from the gazebo. Businesses stayed open throughout the event and seemed to benefit from the increased foot traffic. On Saturday, May 11th, postal customers were encouraged to leave bags of non-perishable food items at their mailboxes as part of the 27th annual Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. Letter carriers across the country collected the donations and brought them back to the post office.
We got all the notices out to all the customers here in Lake Orion, and the carriers are out there just collecting all the food that a lot of the customers are putting by the mailbox, and we're getting it over to the fish organization over here in Lake Orion, Oxford area.
This community really comes through, don't they?
They sure do. This seems to be one of the areas where we seem to pull in the most food. In fact, in 17 we had, I believe, 16,000 pounds, and then last year we hit 30,000 pounds, which was unbelievable. And I was driving around myself today, and it was like every third or fourth house seemed to have a bag sitting by their mailbox.
At the Lake Orion Post Office, employees and their family members, including retirees, volunteered to unload the mail trucks and transfer the donations to vehicles that deliver them to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry.
We have a talk about it before, a week or two before, and there's a lot of dedication to it. I mean, we're fortunate to have a decent job here, so they have no problem doing, contributing like this. They're doing a little bit extra today, but they're happy to do it.
On the evening of Wednesday, May 15th, dozens of bicyclists arrived at Woodside Bible Church on the grounds of Canterbury Village to take part in the second annual Ride of Silence, organized by Holy Spokes.
So Holy Spokes is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3, and we take in bicycle donations and fix them up and get them out to people in need. We actually were introduced to the Ride of Silence by Judith Finneran, whose husband had been killed by a distracted driver by the Orion plant about 8 years ago. And she had mentioned that she had never had a ride for her husband, and so we seeked, very quickly to try to remedy that. And so we had a quick impromptu ride for her a couple of years ago, and we decided that from there on we would try to do one every year in Lake Orion.
On July 27, 2017, bicyclists took part in a memorial ride honoring Ralph Finneran on the 6th anniversary of his passing. The following year, a group took part in the international event, Ride of Silence, held the third Wednesday in May each year. Ralph's wife, Judith, displays a ghost bike at the scene of the accident near the GM Orion assembly plant as a reminder to drivers. On the evening of Thursday, May 16th, 30 students ranging from 6th grade to 12th grade were recognized for their service to the community during a ceremony at Lake Orion High School's Performing Arts Center. Orion Area Youth Assistants solicited nominations from local organizations and chose the most outstanding students to receive recognition. Board members and local dignitaries were present to honor the students.
Various people nominate the students. It could be anywhere from community members, teachers, counselors, church or clergy, and they're being honored for various types of service. For example, we have some individuals that work at a camp throughout the year. We have ones that are just doing service with their church. So it's a variety of different reasons.
On the morning of Sunday, May 19th, approximately 120 runners arrived at the Orion Center to take part in the 23rd running of Orion Township's Dragon Dash, after checking in runners lined up at the starting line for the start of the race.
Runners set.
Fantastic day. I don't think we've had weather this nice in quite a few years. It's a beautiful day to be out in the parks running.
The course took runners out onto the Polly Ann Trail toward Orion Township's Civic Center Park, where they looped back and returned to the Orion Center to complete the 5K trek. Finishing first overall was Alexander Pollock of Lake Orion with a time of 18:14. The first female to cross the finish line was Misty Pollock of Lake Orion. She finished sixth overall with a time of 21:44. Those finishing in the top three in each age division received a water bottle and other prizes.
We just really want to get people out in the parks running, living a healthy lifestyle, just families out having a good time together on the trails.
On Thursday, May 23rd, representatives of the Chamber of Commerce gathered at Bald Mountain Recreation Area to welcome a new attraction to the area. Water Warrior Island is an inflatable playground on Lower Trout Lake that offers fun for the whole family.
1, 2, 3.
We have a Ninja Warrior course out there. We have a blast pad. We have a rock climbing wall. We got a chaos pad. We have a big swing that swings out to the water. We have a big ball right there. It's called the Rocket, where you can teeter-totter with your friends. We also have paddleboard, kayak rental, and then we have a full concession stand.
Visitors are escorted to the island by lifeguards and can enjoy 1 or 2 hour-long sessions. There is special group pricing, and food and refreshments are also available. The Gillespies opened the first Water Warrior Island a year ago in Champion, Michigan, near Marquette in the Upper Peninsula. Since they live in the Metro Detroit area, they were interested in opening one a little closer to home and worked out a deal with the state of Michigan to open one at Bald Mountain Recreation Area.
Well, with having Water Warrior Island come to Bald Mountain Recreation Area, I'm hoping that they'll bring the volume of tourists back to Bald Mountain Recreation Area. We've had, as people know, and they've come through, they see very large parking lots that do not get used like they used to from back in the 70s. And we keep this beach raked every day. We keep the lawns mowed. The tables are here. There's grills. Now we have an attraction that will bring people to this area and see how beautiful this area really is.
On the morning of Monday, May 27th, runners and walkers came out on a beautiful Memorial Day to take part in the 3rd annual Orion Veterans Memorial Day 5K race. 175 participants pre-registered for the event, with additional race day walk-ons bringing the total to a near record 191 runners and walkers. In its 3rd year, the starting line was moved to a new location and participants enjoyed a new course.
Runners, cheer up. Good luck, everybody. Have a safe start. Make sure you go over the map and not around.
So this year we actually bumped up the starting time, so we are starting at 9 a.m. instead of noon, so hopefully that's a lot better for the runners and racers. We're also doing a whole new route, which is going down the Pink Creek Trail, so we're very excited about that.
The goal of today is to exactly what you just saw here at the starting line, is families and residents and people that are in town visiting would just come out and enjoy the beautiful parts of Orion Township, but do it on a day that's important to our community, Memorial Day.
The first runner to cross the finish line was Cole Broker of Imlay City, who finished with a time of 20:16.1. All participants received a commemorative dog tag as they crossed the finish line.
The course was really nice. It was mostly like you had a long time in the woods. All cross-country runners love running in the woods. And it wasn't too hot until like the very end when you're running and it gets hot.
Do you train a lot? Do you run a lot? What's your running history?
I'm supposed to. I run college at SC4.
All fees collected at the event benefit the Orion Veterans Memorial on M24.
So we do this to raise money for the long-term sustainability of the Orion Veterans Memorial, which is one of the best in the entire country.
People can always make donations. I'm a strong advocate of the War Memorial. I've been on that board for 7 years. But yes, 100% of the proceeds from today's race go to support the memorial. So that's another benefit of participating today.
While the race was getting underway in downtown Lake Orion, a group of veterans and family members were gathered at East Lawn Cemetery on Orion Road. New commander of Lake Orion American Legion Post 233, Steve Hawkswell, welcomed visitors and led a solemn ceremony honoring those who died defending our country. Ladies Auxiliary President Robin Cram placed a wreath at the monument that lists the names of Lake Orion's World War veterans.
Flowers may wither, but the spirit of which they are the symbol will endure until the end of time.
At 10 a.m., a similar ceremony was held at Children's Park in downtown Lake Orion. Once again, Post Commander Steve Hawkswell led the ceremony, where this time a wreath was dropped into Paint Creek to honor those who lost their lives at sea. The ceremony concluded with a gun salute and the playing of taps.
I was born in 1947, grew up in the village of Lake Orion, and it was a treat to live here because we always had, the veterans always came out from this American Legion, and they had parades and they had picnics, and it was post-war, so and I was young, and it was a great place to live, and it still is. Lake Orion is still my little Lake Orion. Although it's getting a bit bigger, which is okay. You know, progress is progress. You have to have progress. But to say that I'm very proud to be a long time citizen of Lake Orion and Lake Orion Township, the whole thing. It's a great place to live.
Following the ceremony, residents began lining the streets of downtown Lake Orion for the start of the annual Memorial Day Parade. At 11 a.m., Police Chief Jerry Narsh led the parade in the department's vintage 1941 Ford police car. Riding shotgun was 2019's honored veteran Ernest Baker Jr. Chief Narsh stopped at the intersection of Flint Street and Broadway to introduce the veteran, who served in World War II with the U.S. Army. Present to pass the baton was last year's honoree, Kenneth Smith.
During his military service, Ernie Baker was awarded numerous medals and awards, including the Bronze Star, Combat Infantry Badge, the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal with Bronze Star, the Philippine Liberation Medal, and a Good Conduct Medal, amongst several others. Ernie Baker is a patriot, husband, father, and proud member of the Lake Orion community, and the Lake Orion Police Department is honored to recognize you as the 2019 Lake Orion Honored Veteran.
Following the presentation, the parade continued with military vehicles, community groups, and of course, the Lake Orion High School Marching Band as they made their way to the Eman Center. The final event of the day took place at the Orion Veterans Memorial on M24 at 1 p.m. Veterans Memorial Chairman Dr. Joseph Mastromateo acted as the MC at the ceremony, and introduced Township Supervisor Chris Burnett, who gave the Memorial Day address.
You just search the term United States conflicts, you'll come up with a list of 35 pages. Every conflict that the U.S. has been in and fought for. And Dr. Joe referenced it a minute ago, but we have surpassed 1.2 million patriots who have laid down their life for our freedom.
On Saturday, June 8th, the Orion Township Library launched the beginning of its summer reading program with a huge party on the grounds of the library. Families were invited to come to sign up for the program and a chance to win prizes later this summer.
They're signing up for the program, but we also have a lot of fun going on. We have food out back, we have lawn games, we have a football toss, we've got a DJ playing some music back there, we have face painting, we have space-related stuff, because our theme for summer reading this year is a universe of stories. So we have a lot of fun space things going on out back as well today. Flip spots back there, we have our fun party tent back there, and then some great supporters are also in the backyard today.
More than 1,000 kids and teens take part in the program every year. They are challenged to keep track of their reading progress throughout the summer, with the program coming to an end on August 3rd. Those reading the most books have a chance to win fun prizes at the finale.
Why do we do a summer reading program? Because it is so important for kids to keep reading during the summer. They don't have school to go to anymore to force them to read, and we try to make reading fun here at the library. So the summer reading program enables them to have incentive prizes that they can earn if they read so many minutes or so many books throughout the course of the summer. Our showcase behind me has some of the prizes that some of the younger kids can win if they decide that they're going to finish the program this year. There's stuff for teens, gift cards even for adults that they can win for reading, and we just try to keep people reading because we know the research shows that if kids don't read during the summer, they're behind in school in the fall, and we don't want that to happen. So we try really hard to make reading fun and encourage reading all summer long here at the library.
On June 8th and 9th, Canterbury Village was the site of the first ever Dragon's Fire Medieval Fair. Visitors enjoyed food and drink, live music, and were able to witness a joust featuring armored knights on horseback.
Yeah, Canterbury Village, they're great to work with here. The whole setting of Canterbury, when we opened up a shop here, just said, you know, this is a medieval fair here. When you have the castle, everything that just talks about it, it says, okay, this is a medieval fair. This is the first year, and we're doing really well, you know, with 30 vendors and everyone else coming together. We've had great support from the community and from Canterbury Village.
Organizers are hoping to make this an annual event and plan on adding a royal feast at King's Court Castle.
Oh, you did, so did he, and so did I. And the more I think about it, the nearer I'm to cry. Over them happy days when troubles we do not, and our mother's maid come running in the little skillet pot.
On Tuesday, June 11th, Community Mental Health Association of Michigan kicked off its annual spring conference at Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi. Mental health leaders from across the state attended the conference to discuss mental illness, developmental disabilities, and substance abuse disorders. During a luncheon, the three hosts of the ONTV program Community Corner were presented with a special award.
It's called the Jim Newbacher Media Award, and it typically goes to large newspapers and business magazines and very high-profile media professionals. We were so thrilled, though, to have Community Corner honored today because they are local guys from our local communities doing great work, and you could see by the reception by those in the audience that the appreciation for their skills, talents, and passion were definitely honored and noticed today.
On the evening of Tuesday, June 11th, 570 Lake Orion High School seniors gathered at DTE Energy Music Theater for the class of 2019 commencement. The Board of Education, President, Superintendent, and Principal all delivered farewell messages to the outgoing students.
As a class, you leave a stunning legacy. Record-breaking academics, award-winning programs, award-winning athletics, music, arts, leadership, and most importantly, caring for each other.
After the last student crossed the stage, student leadership co-presidents Madison Eaton and Jason Donovan led the tassel ceremony.
Class of 2019, would you please stand?
Please move your tassels from the right to the left.
Ready?
Congratulations, Dragons! We have graduated.
On Thursday, June 13th, representatives of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce gathered at Sarah's Bath Boutique for a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
1, 2, 3.
I can't speak enough about how wonderful my colleagues are down here. It's been very heartwarming and to see what a small town is like.
After a period of time practicing law, Sarah Luxinger opened her boutique on Black Friday 2018, offering shoppers lotions, potions, bath bombs, and home decor.
Nice night for a pool party.
On the evening of Friday, June 14th, Paint Creek Country Club was the site of a pool party to officially kick off Lake Orion's American Summer. Now in its 4th year, the event brings local businesses together to offer the community specials and fun events through the 4th of July holiday.
The whole concept of Lake Orion's American Summer is to make sure there's so much going on in the community that people that live here stay here, and that we drive in other people from outside the community to spend money with our businesses and our organizations. So we partner with the library every year. They have a slew of things for all ages, especially kids. We partner with 20 Front Street. They've got all sorts of awesome bands coming. I mean, really anyone that wants to do something. Paint Creek Country Club, obviously Skelnick Ford's our presenting sponsor, and there's their 55th anniversary doing business here in Lake Orion. So we're trying to get things going with them. Northern Flooring is a big sponsor for our restaurant week. So we're just trying to drum up as much activity as we possibly can.
On Tuesday, June 18th, representatives of the Orion Chamber, Rochester Regional Chamber, the Township, and the Village assembled in downtown Lake Orion to celebrate the official grand opening of Cookies and Cream at 20 Front Street.
1, 2, 3.
You know, we're just so blessed and honored to live in a community like Lake Orion and Orion Township. This is what community is all about, and this is what small businesses are all about. It's supporting each other and working hard for each other every single day. And we're just really proud to be here in downtown Lake Orion at this amazing venue in this amazing spot.
On the evening of Thursday, June 20th, the threat of rain didn't seem to deter families from coming out for the Orion Township's Summer Sizzle. Visitors enjoyed food, games, and music courtesy of Guy Lewis and his Chautauqua Express.
Smile at the camera. And now, Bella, are you doing one of your fancy moves? Here it comes. La 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 la. She's a fabulous acrobat.
Many years ago, under a previous township supervisor, Matthew Gibb, our township was going through some really rough times. The GM plant was kind of iffy. Things were not going well in the United States, let alone Orion Township. So the township supervisor came to Parks and Recreation. He said, we really need to do something for the community. Spirits were really in the dumps. We need to do something fun. So we developed Summer Sizzle. And it was really just a give back to the community, get out of your homes, come out, bring your families, and have a good time. And it's survived for many years. Every year it gets a little bit different. It gets a little bit bigger. We have different families come out and just have a good time.
On the evening of Thursday, June 20th, Skirbeck Entertainment Group was back in downtown Lake Orion offering visitors rides, games, and food during the Lions Club's annual Jubilee. The event ran through Sunday, June 23rd and benefited from beautiful weather. The Lions Club also operated a nearby beer tent, with proceeds helping them continue to service the community since 1938.
Primarily due to our charter from Helen Keller, we help the blind and hearing impaired people, but we get involved in a lot of community organizations as well, helping people that are a little less fortunate, financially or otherwise, handicapped people, things like that. We support Bear Lake Camp for the blind up in Lapeer area and Leader Dog for the blind. A lot of different organizations that, well-known organizations that help a lot of people. So we do fundraisers like the Jubilee here, our auction, a lot of different things in order to support all those efforts.
The Jubilee has a long history in the community, but was forced to move to Canterbury Village in 2009 due to renovations in the village. The event returned to downtown Lake Orion in 2014 and has become a reunion of sorts for longtime residents eager to kick off summer.
when the Jubilee's going on, just walk around downtown, and there are a lot of people that get together. It's like it's time for summer. It's the beginning of summer. They call it now. We have the American summer theme going. So we have this, and then there are fireworks the following week for the 4th of July, and all these different events leading into Dragging on the Lake. So it's like the first big summer event in Lake Orion, and it really brings people together. If you go downtown, you'll run into people you went to high school with 30, 40 years ago, and now they're here with their kids, bringing them back for the same fun they had then. So it's really been a great event all these years. I really, really enjoy this weekend.
For many, the highlight of the weekend was the fireworks display over the lake, which served as an appetizer for upcoming 4th of July activities. The following Friday, on June 28th, the Lions Club held another fundraiser on the shores of Lake Orion. Lake residents purchased flares in the weeks leading up to the event, and at 10 p.m., glowing red flares lit up the shorelines of Lake Orion. The annual event began 74 years ago to celebrate the end of World War II. It's estimated that between 4,000 and 5,000 flares were ignited during the event, which lasted approximately 30 minutes. The next day, Lake Orion residents and visitors from throughout Oakland County lined up along M24 and around the shoreline for the 4th annual Dueling Fireworks Show. Organized by the Lake Orion Fireworks Association, the event depends on fundraisers and donations from the community. The fireworks show has been ranked as one of the best in the nation. Thursday, August 1st, Northern Flooring and Interiors in Lake Orion hosted a Luau by the Lake fundraiser to benefit the Mattis House at Crossroads for Youth. Over 100 attendees enjoyed a pig roast, a tiki bar, music, and games. A silent auction offered over $14,000 in items donated by the community. This is the 5th year Northern Flooring has partnered with Design for a Difference to tackle a community project.
Okay, so Design for a Difference is a national movement, so our store, along with about 70 other stores across North America, partnered to create this charity along with our celebrity, or our designer spokesperson, Mark Burnett. And the idea was to help charities, because most charities are so busy taking care of their patients or clients or the people they serve that they don't have the ability to necessarily take care of their own facilities. So Design for a Difference purpose was to bring design, because that's what we like to focus on, to these charities and make their spaces more functional, more pleasant, so they can better serve their clients, and the employees themselves can be in a better spot. So that's where it came from. Now we're over $5 million in charity, in makeovers across the country.
Chris Vile has been with Crossroads for Youth over 24 years, 18 as the clinical director. He told us what the fundraiser means to those who stay at Crossroads for Youth.
Oh, this is a fantastic event. We are in the process of renovating one of our older buildings and turning it into a state-of-the-art, modern, single-floor facility for our young ladies that are currently on campus right now. They currently live in a building that was built in like 1962. It's a 2-story building, and it's not conducive for the kind of environment that provides the best healing environment for them. And we do a really good job of doing that for them, but the building could be a lot better. And so this project is going to just provide them with an absolute state-of-the-art healing environment on a beautiful grounds at Crossroads for Youth.
On Friday, August 2nd, approximately 36 trucks and vehicles were scattered across the grounds of Friendship Park for the 16th annual Big Rig Gig. Perfect weather, free admission, and plenty of photo ops resulted in quite possibly the largest turnout ever for the event.
It's absolutely perfect. It's warm, it's sunny, it's not too warm, it's not muggy, it's beautiful out. Doesn't cost anything this year. This is one of our thank yous to the Orion Township voters for passing the millage. So to get into the Big Rig Gig this year, it is zip, zero, zilch, nada. Doesn't cost a penny to get in for all of the fun and memories that you will have for a lifetime.
Vehicles included everything from a cement mixer to a school bus. The Road Commission for Oakland County provided several vehicles, and the Sheriff's Office had a few emergency vehicles on hand. There was a play area, and several food trucks offered families a quick bite.
You know, what's really interesting is I was talking to one of the drivers, and he said it was really a tradition with his family. Every year, since their kids have been toddlers and they're now older teenagers, every year they come out, every year they come to the Big Rig Gig, and they've seen it grow every year. And it's so neat to me that it has become a family tradition for them.
On Saturday, August 3rd, the streets of downtown Lake Orion were closed off to traffic for the 2019 Kids and Cops Cruise-In. More than 250 classic cars and hot rods were on display along Broadway and Flint Streets. Organized by Galling Buick GMC, the annual event acts as a fundraiser benefiting the Lake Orion Police Association's Kids and Cops program at Blanche Sims Elementary School and the Shop with a Hero program. This was the third cruise-in organized by Galling Buick GMC. Events in May and June were held at the dealership. The Kids and Cops Cruise-In takes place in downtown Lake Orion and benefits from all the perks the downtown area has to offer, including a pancake breakfast fundraiser hosted by Lockhart's Barbecue.
Downtown is the downtown. This is the gem of the community, and the village is proud of our downtown. And so how much better to have our car show on the streets downtown where we can support our merchants. There's a lot of sizzling summer sales at our merchants and restaurants today, so you can't go hungry if you come down and look at the cars today. It's going to be 85 degrees and sunny all day. It's going to be a perfect day to shop downtown, see the cars. A shout out to Lockhart's Barbecue. Our partners and friends at Lockhart's are serving up a pancake breakfast this morning from 8 to I believe 10:30, could be 11. And all of the proceeds today from the car entries and the pancake breakfast go to support our Kids and Cops programs, both at Blanche Sims, our Shop with a Hero program, our youth sports activities where we sponsor kids for all types of sports throughout the summer. These are all Orion kids and families. So 100% of these dollars go back into our community.
Galling does a lot of it. If it wasn't for Galling, we wouldn't be able to get this fully promoted, supported, and everything else. But Galling is a very big sponsor of what we do.
On the afternoon of Saturday, August 3rd, the Orion Township Public Library celebrated the end of the summer reading program with a huge finale party. The theme of this year's program was a universe of stories and incorporated a space theme. The program kicked off on June 8th with a big bash on the grounds of the library and drew hundreds of participants.
Yeah, we had over 700 participants this year, 500 and some in the elementary age range and 150 in preschool, 0 to 5. And then we also, we had a community goal of reading to the moon. So this year we took the miles to the moon, so 238,000 miles to the moon, and we tried to read that many number of minutes, and they did. They read 250,000.
Numerous prizes were handed out at the finale. Participants were encouraged to read throughout the summer to keep their skills sharp as they prepare to return to school in September. We here at ONTV were saddened by the news that longtime Oakland County Executive L. Brooks Patterson passed away on August 3rd at the age of 80. Patterson was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in March of 2019. After 16 years of serving as Oakland County prosecutor, L. Brooks Patterson was first elected as Oakland County Executive in 1992 and took office on January 1st, 1993. In 2012, he was critically injured in a car crash in Auburn Hills and spent 5 weeks recovering in a hospital. He won re-election in 2016 to serve his 7th term in office. After being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in March, he announced that he would not seek re-election in 2020. In 2018, Patterson visited our ONTV studio as a guest of the GoGop produced program On the Right Side, where he looked back at his career.
If you told me 40-some years ago that I'd be working for Oakland County for all those years, I'd tell you you're crazy. Well, but once you get here, it's a beautiful county, great people, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my career here. I worked for a gentleman in the prosecutor's office. I rose very quickly through the ranks and became the chief trial lawyer in Oakland County within my first year and a half. And I never lost a case, so I was effective and good at what I did. And one day the prosecutor called me and fired me. And I said, "What are you firing me for? I never lost a case. I'm your chief trial lawyer." Well, he was a Democrat and I was Republican. We're moving toward 1972, which was election year. Right. So he got a little nervous because I was winning everything and so forth. So he let me go, which was a mistake. Because as it turned out, the busing movement just began at that time, became dominant in the news. You couldn't get away from it. I represented a group called the Northside Action Group in Pontiac, which evolved into NAG, the National Action Group, and the rest is history. I mean, here's Tom Plunkett right here, and here I am. I was on Walter Cronkite, all these national shows. But then when Judge Stephen Roth took the Pontiac plan and encompassed the whole Tri-County area, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, then it hit the fan. And I was the only lawyer out there, so I got a lot of exposure.
On the evening of Friday, August 9th, hundreds of spectators gathered at Friendship Park in Orion Township to witness history. After 2 years of planning and fundraising, Miracle League of North Oakland celebrated opening day with a ceremony on the field. Easter Seals Miracle League founder and director Steve Pack took to the pitcher's mound to welcome participants and visitors and to share the story of how the first Miracle League field in Southfield was built in 2004.
I built the first field in Michigan back in 2004. It's called Easter Seals Miracle League of Michigan. It's in Southfield. And we have a very successful program there with 400 participants. They heard about what we did and they wanted to come out and see it. Once they saw it, they're like, wow, we need to provide that opportunity in our community. So Chris Barnett was a great cheerleader, and he said, Steve, how can we partner together? And they just made a decision, let's do it together. Instead of trying to do it alone, let's do it with an organization, as in Easter Seals, that has been there, done that.
Several entities came together to make this day possible, including Orion Township, Independence Township, Easter Seals, and the Daisy Project. More than $400,000 was raised over the past 2 years.
The idea came from the Lake Orion Wiffle Ball Association of all groups. They're an amazing group of guys and girls. And then we were joined by the Daisy Project. And then I was driving to Lansing for a meeting with Independence Township Supervisor Pat Kittle, and he said, hey, we're building this amazing field. I said, we are too. So we said, let's collaborate. And they were already working with Easter Seals, so we teamed up with them. And then kind of since then, it's been a great partnership. And so it's not an Orion Township asset or field. It's not just for people who live in Orion. Certainly our residents are going to use this and enjoy this field. But it's really that's why we call it the North Oakland. It's really for our region, Northern Oakland County, Lapeer, anybody that wants to come, we want them to come here and enjoy it.
I'm so glad that the community came out to celebrate this. It's an amazing accomplishment. The community came together. We all did this together. It's about the kids, but it's also about the community and their donations. And we've been working hard towards this for some years now, so we're very thankful, and I'm glad that everyone came out to celebrate today.
During the opening day ceremony, Suzanne Baber was invited to throw out the first pitch. The 92-year-old widow lives near the park, and when she found out about the project, she delivered 3 separate checks for $10,000 each. Following the ceremony, players were introduced from the first 2 teams to play on the field, the Clarkston and Orion All-Stars. In the abbreviated inaugural game, every single player had a turn at the plate. As they rounded the bases, they didn't have to worry about barriers or obstacles. The field allowed all players to just focus on having fun.
Overwhelmed, overjoyed, overtired, over everything. But what an amazing night. I mean, 1 week ago today, there was nothing here. We were standing on asphalt. There were no fences, no dugouts, no field, and we made it. But man, we had an amazing team, and it was all for what we just witnessed, to see these kids, the smile on their face, the joy, the parents crying. The most rewarding project I've ever worked on in my entire professional career, for sure, this one.
I want to welcome you to the 25th Dream Cruise. Can you believe it?
On Friday, August 16th, dignitaries and car buffs gathered on 9 Mile Road in Ferndale to officially kick off the 25th running of the Woodward Dream Cruise with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
1, 2, 3!
The Woodward Dream Cruise was created by Nelson House and a group of volunteers in August of 1995 as a fundraiser for a soccer field in Ferndale, Michigan.
I have to remind you, if you don't know, that the Dream Cruise started right here in Ferndale. That it started as a fundraiser for the Dream Park, for the Dream Field, which was a soccer field. The Dream Field actually does exist now, but I will tell you, the Dream Cruise has never been a great fundraiser. It took us years to finally build the Dream Field because, you know, people just come out and have a great time, but it's not a big fundraiser. But we could have never predicted the success of this event. It's just unbelievable to me. The first year, they thought they'd get, maybe a couple thousand cars to come out on Woodward and travel up and down. And they had 250,000 cars in the first year. So they knew they were onto something, right? This year they expect to have 1 million cars on Woodward. So this is amazing. And we take the history of this really importantly in Ferndale. We take a lot of pride in being the place where this started.
Ferndale Mayor Dave Coulter emceed his final opening ceremony as mayor, having found out he was appointed to the position of county executive to serve the remainder of the term vacated due to the passing of L. Brooks Patterson on August 3rd. Coulter was joined on stage by several guests, including Sheriff Mike Bouchard and Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, who was elected to the position in November of 2018.
That. I'm also excited to be here at a historical moment for our mayor, maybe one of the last public appearances he makes as mayor of Ferndale, because he's now, as you heard, about to be the county executive for Oakland County. And so I'm excited to celebrate this occasion, your elevation to county executive, by recognizing your time as mayor of Ferndale, the 45th mayor of Ferndale, by giving you this plate to mark and commemorate your service.
Following the ribbon-cutting ceremony, emergency vehicles of all shapes and sizes poured out onto Woodward with sirens blaring and lights flashing.
The Art Center's largest fundraiser of the year took place over 4 days in August, and the community came together to make the 11th annual Dragon on the Lake Festival the biggest and best ever. Things kicked off on the evening of Thursday, August 22nd, as the Chamber of Commerce hosted their Thirsty Thursday gathering at the Dragon Pub near the Art Center. Providing the entertainment was the Reggie Harrison Trio. Appropriately enough, Reggie Harrison is the former director of the Art Center and was one of the founders of the Dragon on the Lake Festival. She launched her set by performing her original song, Dragon on the Lake.
So exciting to see what this event has become in these 11 years. It started as a community festival to celebrate the Art Center's anniversary, and the way this community has taken this and made it their own. And this isn't about any one organization or one group, it's the whole community coming together. So it makes me feel great to know that 11 years later it's bigger and better than ever, and I'm really excited to be here.
Dragon, there's a dragon on the lake.
On Friday, while the entertainment continued in downtown Lake Orion, boaters were gathering on the lake at sunset for the start of the 10th annual Lighted Boat Parade. Participants were encouraged to decorate their boats and have some fun. When Scott Campbell's fire-breathing dragon appeared on the lake, it was time to get the party started. The dragon led participants around the perimeter of the lake, and even non-participants joined in on the fun to create quite a spectacle. Judges followed along on a pontoon to award points for decorations, lighting, eye appeal, and enthusiasm. Ray Seas of Lapeer donated $500 in prize money, with $300 going to first place, $150 for second, and $50 for third. There was also an honorable mention. The winners would be announced at the award ceremony on Sunday.
It's really about community participation, and we tried to encourage this year a little bit of a competitive spirit. We wanted to put the challenge out there for different groups, church groups, school groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, anybody that wanted to get their group together, families, whatever it is, two families that live next to each other. Get your boats decorated and get out there and compete with it. It's all about community spirit.
On the morning of Saturday, August 24th, over 100 runners and walkers arrived in downtown Lake Orion for the start of the second annual Dragon on the Run 5K race. After checking in at the Tiki Bar, participants gathered at the starting line to wait for the sound of the starter's pistol.
Last year was a little different. Saturday, about 2 minutes before the event started, we had to call it off because there was a huge thunderstorm that rolled through, and we had to postpone it till Sunday. This year the weather is beautiful. It's 70 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and it's perfect for running.
So you would say that today was a huge success?
Big success. Great turnout. We appreciate everyone coming out, helping the Orion Arts Center. It's their their fundraiser. So it's a good event, good community, and kind of kicks the whole weekend off for Dragon on the Lake.
The course took runners out onto Paint Creek Trail to Orion Township Hall, where they circled back and returned to the finish line near the Art Center. Finishing first overall was Wesley Johnson of Lake Orion with a time of 19:08.7.
It's an awesome feeling. I don't usually win these kinds of things, so it was very cool. I got a very nice time today, not what I was expecting, just kind of starting the cross country season at my school. So yeah, very good time overall. I'm happy with the placing I got. There's people behind me that were helping to push me to the finish, so I felt really good.
And the first female to cross the finish line was Lauren Dumas, also of Lake Orion. She finished 13th overall with a time of 23:47.4.
It feels pretty good. I didn't get the time that I wanted, but I did pretty good for staying up late and not really preparing for the race. It's just a really fun race, and I love doing it.
While that was going on, Flint and Broadway streets were closed to traffic to allow vendors to set up shop. Over the course of 2 days, visitors had a wide variety of art, food, and refreshments to choose from. There was a kids zone that offered arts and crafts and other fun activities, and performers kept people entertained throughout the weekend. The Art Center had a booth set up on Broadway near Flint Street where they offered demonstrations, sold pottery, and promoted the classes offered at their art studio.
Yeah, we're enjoying the arts. It seems like more people and more people are coming, so that's a great thing. Yep, we're all excited. We have a painter here. She's painting a spider. And then we have a potter and sort of a potter. She's doing tile painting with glaze, and you can do lots of layers with that. And then at the far end, we have Bo working on the wheels. We'll teach you how to do this step by step. So if you've never done it or don't think you have any talent, come on back. We can work with you.
Later that evening, the Dragon Pub was filled to capacity as the fan favorite Square Pegs returned to entertain the enthusiastic crowd with their covers of classic 80s tunes.
Yeah, this is one of our favorite gigs to play. The crowd is always so engaged, so into it. We love when people dress up, and especially when they sing and dance along. So this crowd is one of our favorites to play for sure.
Describe the Square Peg show. What can people expect?
You can expect all your favorite 80s songs, literally all of them. Lots of energy, lots of sweet dance moves, and we like to have a really good time on stage. So we want to have as much fun as we bring to you guys too.
On the final day of Dragon on the Lake, the community arrived in Greens Park early Sunday morning for the 10th annual Dragon Boat Races. Things got underway with an opening ceremony where race directors Rob Kavanaugh and Matt Gibb welcomed the crowd and went over the rules. By 10 a.m., the first boats crewed by teams representing Home Depot were paddling out to the starting line at the far end of the lake. With the sound of an air horn, the 2019 Dragon Boat Races were underway. 22 teams took part in 3 heats throughout the day. The times in the first heat were added to the times in the second heat to determine the rankings in the third heat. The final race of the day to name the 2019 champion would include teams representing Powerhouse Gym, the Bernie Directive, and Dragon Down Parkinson's. Powerhouse Gym posted the fastest times during the first 2 heats, but could they keep it up to claim victory? Let's take a look. Not only did the Bernie Directive post their best time of the day, they actually posted the fastest time of the entire event, 1:23.82, to defend their title and claim the Dragon Cup trophy for the second year in a row. Powerhouse Gym finished with 1:26.59, and underdogs, Dragon Down Parkinson's, finished with an impressive 1:30.09. How did you guys pull this off?
Well, like I said after the first race, we had some work to do. We had to get in sync. We had to figure ourselves out because we had a new team. We just never lost hope. We've been in this position before. We knew we had a lot of ground to make up, so we just did it. And we talked as a team, got our plan and strategy put together, and I promised her that we would win, so I had to.
And how does it feel winning for the second time in a row?
Oh, it feels awesome. I honestly, I didn't even realize until right now that it was back-to-back. So that's pretty awesome feat. I know the Island Bombers, we got some catching up to do with them, so there's still a lot of work, but awesome feeling, great team, we're thrilled.
I thought it was absolutely spectacular. I thought it was one of the best Dragon on the Lakes I've ever been to and been part of. So the action came down to like the three toughest teams. One that's been fighting to come up for the past couple of years, and of course Bernie Director defending it, and Powerhouse wanted it so bad too. So absolutely exciting final photo finish, and man, just a bunch of great memorable moments throughout the entire day between all the teams having fun.
So what I really liked about today was that there were spectators here in costumes supporting teams. So in the past we've had teams with all of these great spirit, but then we had fans here supporting teams that went beyond just like I'm here to yell. Megaphones, it was great. And then the spirit of the teams was really prevalent today, and we give a spirit award. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it makes it hard because the teams this year were they're just into it, and made it really nice.
Being here for the past 4 days and only sleeping maybe a total of 6 hours in 4 days, you see the growth. You see the people that come down here. And somebody said to me the other day, what they noticed is everybody gets along. There's no fighting. There's no craziness that happens here. We all become friends over the 4 days, and I think it says a lot about Lake Orion.
On Saturday, September 14th, beautiful weather brought out hundreds of cruisers and car buffs to Galling Butte GMC for a super cruise to wrap up the 2019 car cruise season. It was the dealership's 5th show of the summer, and visitors enjoyed food and music as well as a parking lot full of classic cars and hot rods. And like the previous cruises, this one acted as a fundraiser for a local charity.
Today is great. Today is just a super day. I mean, today is, I'm going to call it Corvette Day because we've got so many Corvettes here. It's unreal. We could almost be a dealership. They know how to party. Yeah, I don't think Mr. Galling wants me to say that, but yeah, no, it's a great day. People look happy and people are walking around, so it's really great. Each cruise, what we do is the charities themselves will come out and they'll work either the food, doing 50-50, and if they have items to sell or whatever, or raffles, they can do all that and all the profits go to them. We let them do all that. We supply everything for them.
Benefiting from the Super Cruise was Orion Area Youth Assistance, whose mission is to strengthen families by empowering youth through community involvement.
Oh gosh, we feel so honored to be one of the chosen charities that they choose. It's just amazing that they do this for us. We're very thankful.
On Saturday, September 14th, the community came together at Orion Township's Wildwood Amphitheater for a day-long concert festival known as Ellopalooza. Now in its 6th year, the festival offered great music as well as food and fun for the whole family. And perfect weather produced the largest turnout in the event's history.
We changed a few things up this year, a lot more exciting stuff, but definitely the word's getting out and the bands are wanting to play and everybody's coming out earlier, and of course the beautiful weather today doesn't hurt, right?
That's awesome. Describe the atmosphere today, everything that's going on.
It's a electric atmosphere, I feel like. It's super fun. I mean, we've got so many new things for the kids. Yeah, so we're super excited. Definitely word's getting out in the community because, I mean, people are telling me that they talk to people and that they're like, oh, we're going to Ellopalooza this weekend, and everyone's like, who are those people? We don't even know them, but it's awesome. So it's definitely not for friends and family. Like, it's not just friends and family anymore. It's definitely the word's getting out. We were in the paper. We didn't even ask anybody to put us in the newspaper, and somebody put us in the Oakland Press. So yeah, it's definitely getting the word out. It's awesome. Yeah.
7 different bands performed throughout the day, with many returning year after year. The headliner was Sawyer Fredericks, who won Season 8 of NBC's The Voice in 2015. In addition to music, sponsors provided family-friendly activities, and vendors were on hand offering a wide variety of products and food. Motor City Cornhole returned to host a tournament. Money raised throughout the day helps make the community a more accessible place.
So all the proceeds from the event today are going to be going to build a concession stand out at our new the Miracle League of North Oakland that just opened. So Easter Seals helped us to open that with Orion Township and Independence Township. And the concession stand is going to employ special needs individuals, so it gives them a chance to work.
On Sunday, September 15th, Lake Orion's Greens Park was the site of the first ever Boobs, Tubes, and Dudes event. 4 community leaders known as the Real Men of Orion organized the event, which invited residents to enjoy one last summer blowout on the lake with food, music, and fun.
So we're just going to hopefully raise a lot of awareness. Our goal is by the end of this campaign over the next couple months, everybody in Orion is going to be wearing pink shirts. They're going to be thinking about breast cancer, thinking about getting checked to make sure that they're keeping an eye on their health. And we're going to put Lake Orion on the map. The real big goal is Lake Orion on the map, which I think it already is, as the most giving community in the country. So we're going to try and just build this and build it. And if it goes great this year, which it's already off to a great start, we'll continue in years going forward.
On the evening of Saturday, September 21st, approximately 50 people gathered at Ed's Broadway Gift and Costume in downtown Lake Orion for the start of the 6th annual Zombie Walk. 2 face painters were on hand to apply zombie makeup to those who needed it. Then the March of the Undead started at 8 p.m. Throughout the course of the evening, walkers traveled to Fork and Pint, Lockhart's Barbecue, Valentino's, and closed out the night at the American Legion. The event acts as a fundraiser for the Orion Area Parade Group, which organizes Lake Orion's annual lighted Christmas parade.
It started off as a birthday party, and my wife started really promoting it and doing a lot of different things, and we just kept on adding to it and asking more and more people, and it's just a lot of fun.
On Saturday, September 28th, the community was invited to come out to Camp Agawam for the first ever Fall Festival of Family Fun. Oakland County provided a bounce house, and there were arts and crafts for the little ones. The Lions Club sold hot dogs and corn on the cob, and a petting zoo made a lot of children smile. A tractor took visitors on a hayride through the former Boy Scout camp that the township purchased in 2014.
Camp Agawam is one of our hidden gems of Orion Township, so we want people to know that it's here and get out and see what Camp Agawam is all about. We have the brand new playground, we have the beach, we have lodges you can rent, tent sites, so getting people out here is definitely our big goal.
In addition to all the fun activities, children also took full advantage of the Kaboom Playground, which was built just last year to celebrate the camp's 100th anniversary. So how much did visitors have to pay to enjoy the Fall Festival of Family Fun? Absolutely nothing.
It was actually free. Everything here is free. We have, besides the concession stand, they're selling hot dogs, but only for $1. But everything else is free. That's one of our main goals, is to provide free fun for all the families in Orion.
How is that even possible? How do you raise funds to make this happen?
Luckily, we have passed a millage, and with the millage, we are able to do free events for our public, along with improving all of our parks and facilities as well.
On Thursday, October 3rd, the Chamber of Commerce hosted its 15th annual Shop Local Expo at the high school's field house. Scheduled to take place during the high school's parent-teacher conferences, the event had a carnival theme and attracted more than 800 visitors who had a chance to interact with 80 vendors representing local businesses and nonprofits.
So it's face-to-face, right? And so there are some of those places that are just kind of obscure, out of the way. We don't know where you are. We don't know what your food tastes like. We don't know what your products look like. And this is like just a shopping and eating wonderland all at one spot. And people get to talk to the business owners and the managers and the organizations and find out what it's really all about.
Each year, visitors are asked to sample pizza from local restaurants and vote for their favorite. This year, 4 different businesses took part in the pizza war. At the end of the event, the votes were tallied, and it was announced that Alibi Pizza was named Best Pizza for the 2nd year in a row and will proudly display their trophy at their location on the Pure Road.
What does it mean to you to be able to walk away with this again?
It's an honor. It's an honor to win it 2 years in a row. It's amazing.
On the evening of Thursday, October 10th, dozens of women descended into downtown Lake Orion for Babes on Broadway. An annual event started in 2012 that promotes downtown businesses while raising money for a good cause.
So there were 2 ticket prices. There was a $100 ticket price for VIPs and $30 ticket price for all the rest of the regular babes. And all of the proceeds, net what we're paying back to the participating businesses, come to Love Inc.
How did you come to choose Love Inc. as the beneficiary?
Actually, Molly from the DDA approached us and said, you know, we thought it'd be a great partnership to have a local charity benefit from this. And so I said, okay, let's do it.
Things kicked off in the Love and Light Productions VIP tent with a silent auction, a tiki bar, and other activities. There were check-in tables scattered throughout the downtown area where participants received maps and were encouraged to visit the 25 businesses taking part in the event.
We've really been blessed with all the great participation, and everybody's really been excited to participate. And basically what we wanted to do was draw, traffic into the businesses, and that's what we've been trying to do. So.
And although it's called Babes on Broadway, several gents were stationed throughout the downtown area to work the registration tables, help at crosswalks, and even donate to the cause.
On the evening of Friday, October 11th, the 5-1 Dragons hosted the 1-5 Rochester Falcons at Dragons Stadium for homecoming. At halftime, the marching band took the field for the homecoming ceremony. The court was introduced to the crowd, and last year's King and Queen, Justin Kepler and Michaela Allen, returned to crown the 2019 King and Queen. Justin Kepler was instructed to place the crown on the head of Joey Barron, and named 2019 Homecoming Queen was Kate Barker.
Joey and Kate, congratulations! Your peers find you honorable and worthy of their votes. At this time, please step forward for photographic opportunities and tell your parents thank you for doing a good job.
On the evening of Friday, October 18th, residents were invited to come out to the Orion Center for the township's annual Boo Bash event. Visitors enjoyed cider and donuts, games, face painting, and a hayride out to a pumpkin patch. The event began in 2008 at Friendship Park before moving to the Orion Center in 2012. The Boo Bash is one of the most popular events offered by the township, forcing them to split it into 2 sessions with 95 kids and family members in each session.
So the event became so popular, it kept turning people away, that we decided to try to do the 2 different sessions to get more kids in here.
On the evening of Wednesday, October 23rd, hundreds of children and their parents assembled near the Eamon Center for the start of the annual Lake Orion Halloween Parade, sponsored by Genesis Federal Credit Union and the DDA. At 6 p.m., Police Chief Jerry Narsh led the costume characters down Elizabeth Street in the department's 1941 Ford police car. A new route had participants turning right on Anderson Street as they made their way to Children's Park for cider and donuts, courtesy of Yates.
It absolutely is a Lake Orion tradition. I haven't been here for as long as this parade's been going on, but I know that there are people who talk about they were children and they went to this parade, and now they're bringing their own children to the parade. So, and we're hearing, from people from outside of Lake Orion that are coming down to be part of this parade too.
After passing through Children's Park, trick-or-treaters made their way along Broadway and Flint Streets to collect candy and goodies from the downtown businesses taking part in the event. Beautiful weather resulted in quite possibly the largest turnout ever.
This is a labor of love for those downtown businesses. They give out over 1,000 pieces of candy every year in this short 2-hour event, and they look forward to it. People get dressed up, they do stunts, and it's a lot of fun. This is, downtown loves, the businesses love the community, and they love being able to give back.
Happy Halloween!
On Thursday, October 24th, representatives of the Chamber of Commerce, DDA, family and friends gathered in downtown Lake Orion to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Lucky's Natural Foods with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Woo! Oh my goodness, my friends, my family, Chuck and Judy Erkovitz from Nature's Better Way up in Metamora. Was a big surprise. Just a lot of people, a lot of family and friends and customers that have been supportive.
Formerly an arcade, Lucky's was opened in 1974 by John and Judy Lukovitz as Lucky's Produce, Plants and Flowers. Their daughter Tanya, a Lake Orion High School graduate, took over the business in 1993, offering natural and organic groceries, vitamins, supplements, and more.
I think that the biggest thing would be our customer service. We really make it a point to greet people by name and help them with their issues. And if we don't know the answers, we will seek out the answers for them. We also special order. And I think that we're unique because of just the way we are. It's hard to find stores that are like us.
On the evening of Wednesday, October 30th, filmmakers, family, and friends filled the auditorium at the Oxford 7 Theater for ONTV's 6th annual Wildwood Film Festival. The event showcased the films created during the Film Challenge, which kicked off on Thursday, October 24th. 9 teams were assigned a prop, location, and a random line of dialogue and challenged to create a short film in about 5 days. The deadline was 6 p.m. on October 29th, when a panel of judges would view each film and award points for technical achievement and creativity. The winners were announced at the end of the film festival on the 30th.
Films this year were an interesting, eclectic group. A lot of comedy this year. A lot of fun. You can tell the directors and the producers and the actors had a lot of fun producing their films. A couple serious, storylines, but all in all, it was more lighthearted. The technical aspects of the films, though, across the board have gone up. So people are anticipating the film festival coming this time of year, and we're starting to see filmmakers who are actually really applying the software and the hardware to give a good presentation for their films.
And named the winner of the 2019 Wildwood Film Festival was Witched, produced by Unreasonable Productions. The team also took first place back in 2016.
Well, it started with the idea of being labeled and then turning that around to do something good with it. And so, and we got to wear witch hats and play with dry ice. And so we just had fun with this, and we just enjoy doing this so much. It's our chance to be creative. My whole family gets involved, plus my beautiful friends, and we love it.
On the evening of Saturday, November 2nd, the community came together at Melosh's Palace Chrysler dealership in Orion Township for the Lions Club's A Christmas for Everyone charity auction. Almost 300 people pre-registered for the event, with more people checking in that night. Ticket holders enjoyed a buffet dinner courtesy of Victoria's Wine and Dine in Oxford and took part in both silent and live auctions.
We want them really to come and have a really good time with their friends, come and have a nice dinner, come in and get some nice Christmas gifts possibly, some nice gifts for their families, and also to help the community out with what they've bought.
Lake Orion community businesses are so generous, and a lot of this is complete donations right from them, and that really helps out the bottom line because it's 100% profit then.
Dozens of prizes and baskets were donated by local businesses, allowing winning bidders to get a head start on their Christmas shopping. All proceeds raised at the event benefit the Lions Club's Christmas Basket program. On the evening of November 20th, friends, family, and community leaders from both Lake Orion and Holly gathered at the Holly Vault to witness Jerry Narsch get sworn in as Holly's newest police chief. Narsch beat out 22 candidates vying to replace Michael Story, who resigned in August.
I do solemnly swear or affirm.
I do solemnly swear or affirm.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of this state.
And the Constitution of this state.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the office which I am about to enter.
The office for which I am about to enter.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Welcome to the Village of Holly, Chief Narsch.
A Waterford native, Narsch came to Lake Orion in 1981 as a reserve officer with the Lake Orion Police Department. He went to the police academy in 1982 and joined the force that same year. He served as lieutenant from 1995 until he became the police chief in 2001, replacing the retiring James Leach.
It's the most amazing experience of my life. It has been. What a ride. The love and the acceptance in the Lake Orion community is second to none. And it was hard. It was hard to know that it was time for me to go, but it was twice as hard to make that decision. But it was also time for Amanda and I to begin thinking about our future. It's not that far away where we're going to be solo and making new plans together, and this allows us to financially kind of step into those plans because it's going to come up quick. But it was hard. I love you, Lake Orion.
On Thursday, December 5th, the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce hosted its annual Impact Awards at Paint Creek Country Club. Attendees enjoyed a buffet lunch as the Chamber recognized ambassadors, board members, and staff.
It's been a really good year. We did a couple things new this year, and the board was really excited about it and very much in support. The Women in Business Conference, we've got a bunch of new people coming onto the board this year. So it was a nice, stable year. And we're going to be losing some people that have been around for a while. We're going to be missing Brian Burney and Chris Barnett and Kelly McDonald. They're leaving us, so that's kind of a bummer at the end of the year, but they've done an incredible job in their 6 years with getting this chamber to where it is, starting with Elena and then on through me coming on, and it's just been a really strong year for us.
Receiving the Youth Impact Award was Dawn Ames of Lake Orion United Methodist Church. Dawn runs Blessings in a Brown Bag, which acts like a Meals and World program for qualifying children during the summer months. Receiving the Community Beautification Award was Waste Management, which operates the Eagle Valley Landfill in Orion Township. Accepting the award was Community Relations Representative Kathy Klein. Receiving the Economic Impact Award was Rainforest Cafe, located in Great Lakes Crossing Outlets. Accepting the award was Sales Manager Christina Schaefer. Named Entrepreneur of the Year was Elena Campbell and her daughter Carissa of Cookies and Cream by Sprout Bake, who operate out of 20 Front Street in downtown Lake Orion. And named 2019's Business Person of the Year was Anthony Reard of M&B Graphics.
I wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for giving me this award. Thank you to chamber members. Thank you to people that voted for me or selected me. And thank you to the community for being part of my business.
On Thursday, December 5th, the Chamber of Commerce, Lake Orion Downtown Development Authority, Village, Township, and county officials gathered at 120 South Broadway to celebrate the official grand opening of a mixed-use development that offers 24 apartments as well as 6,000 square feet of retail space.
Here you go, Mom.
Oh, God. Okay.
Listen, this was a long journey. I mean, it was a journey that I don't think everybody believed in. And the people that have rallied behind us, whether it was folks from the DDA, from the Arts Center, to the the Chamber, to the Planning Commission, they all rallied behind us and really got us to where we're at today. Without their help, this project never ever would have happened. And I will tell you, this is probably the easiest, most friendly community I've ever had to work with.
Congratulations, Jeff Schmitz. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey,
appreciate
thanks, Chris,
you.
Man, what a great thing it is.
I know,
Thank you
look at
so
that.
much.
On Saturday, December 7th, almost 200 children and family members arrived at the Orion Center on Joslyn Road for Orion Township's 4th annual Breakfast with the Grinch event. Those in attendance enjoyed photo ops with the Grinch himself and were served a breakfast of green eggs and ham. Kids were able to make ornaments, watch videos, and more. And many of them really got into the theme.
So the past year recently, I've noticed a lot more of the kids dressing up as a Grinch or really getting into the whole Grinch theme. So it's a lot of fun to see them dress up and have the masks on and sweaters and everything. So they're really starting to take a liking to the Grinch.
For those hoping to meet with Santa Claus, they didn't have to travel too far. ONTV hosted Santa live in the TV studio located in the Orion Center. Children were able to meet with Santa and tell him their Christmas wishes. The longtime ONTV tradition was on hiatus for a number of years before being revived in 2016. The event was broadcast live on local cable TV and Facebook from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right, everybody say Merry Christmas.
A castle.
You want a castle? Okay.
A frozen castle?
On the evening of Friday, December 6th, the Lake Orion community came together for an enormous Christmas party known as the Holly Jolly Folly. The annual event is hosted by Galling Buick GMC and raises funds for the Lighted Christmas Parade.
But it's just the festive to kick off the season, get everybody Christmassy spirit, get together, have a good time, and just relax.
The event sold out with 430 tickets sold. Attendees enjoyed a buffet dinner, music, and dancing, and were encouraged to take part in a silent auction featuring dozens of items donated by area businesses. 24 hours later, residents lined the streets of downtown Lake Orion for the start of the annual Orion Lighted Christmas Parade, organized by the Orion Area Parade Group. MCs Don Cooper and Rockin' Ronnie provided commentary from the stage located at the intersection of Front Street and Broadway. Leading the way was Police Chief Jerry Narsh in the department's 1941 Ford police car. His passenger was 2019's honored veteran Ernest Baker Jr. It was the last official duty for Chief Narsh, who announced his retirement in November. Named Citizen of the Year was Dan Dewey, an avid runner. Dewey gained notoriety in 2006 when he began delivering coffee to patients undergoing chemo treatment, including his father. In 13 years, he estimates he's delivered thousands of cups of coffee and other special requests, and has even had a GoFundMe page set up to cover the costs. Approximately 130 parade entries gathered at Blanche Sims Elementary School, including 60 floats, 4 marching bands, community groups, dignitaries, and dozens of costume characters. The parade traveled west on Flint Street before turning south on Anderson Street. It made a right turn on Front Street, then headed north on Broadway Street to its final destination at the Eman Center.
I think the parade, especially being it's the biggest one in Michigan, lighted parade in Michigan, I think it really brings the community together. I mean, there's a lot of other events that do that as well, but this brings from Cub Scouts to businesses to individual people. We have people walking tomorrow that are just 2 people with a banner, okay, because they want to get out and have fun with the people, have fun with the kids, and it does that. We also take some of the money here. We give back to the police departments for their Cops with Kids programs. We also do some other things with the money as far as donating back and forth and trying to help out the community.
And as usual, Santa Claus himself was at the rear of the parade to usher in the Christmas season.
I got to tell you, this is a wonderful evening for a parade in Lake Orion. It has so much spirit, the lights, the kids, everything's marvelous. I'm so proud to be here in Lake Orion tonight.
Thank
Merry
you, Santa.
Christmas to everyone.
We're proud to have you.
Santa. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and Mrs. Claus and all your elves. Thank you for all you do for all the kids.
Thank you.
On the evening of Thursday, December 12th, the Lake Orion community came together in Children's Park to enjoy a brand new holiday event hosted by the Lake Orion DDA. Families, carolers, and even Santa Claus himself gathered near the gazebo to enjoy some Christmas music. Dignitaries included 2019 Business Person of the Year Anthony Reard, Village Council President Ken Van Portfleet, and DDA Executive Director Molly Lalone. They led the crowd in a countdown to prompt Santa and Mrs. Claus to light the Christmas tree.
Light the tree. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following the hometown holiday tree lighting ceremony, a large group of carolers made their way along Broadway Street for the first ever Sing and Stroll. Stopping at the popular shops and restaurants along the way, a cocoa bar was set up at Wine Social to warm up participants. On the morning of Sunday, December 15th, approximately 100 runners came out to the Orion Center for the start of the 3rd annual Snow Dash 5K, with many of them dressed in festive gear. This year, the starting line was moved near the entrance of the Orion Center. At 9 a.m., the race was underway.
We do this to get families together out in the parks, out on the trails, to be together, having fun, being healthy.
Who are these people that come out on a cold Sunday, December morning and take part in these 5Ks?
Well, they are a little bit crazy because it is a little cold out here, but actually it's beautiful to run in the cold weather. You don't get as hot, you don't get overheated. Actually it's a very nice day to be out for a run.
Race time temperature was 28 degrees with a light snow. The course took participants on the scenic Pollyann Trail before circling back to the finish line at the Orion Center. On the evening of Thursday, December 19th, the Target store on Braun Road in Auburn Hills was once again the setting for the annual Shop with a Hero event. Now in its 14th year, Shop with a Hero pairs up children with emergency personnel and members of the military for a shopping spree. A list is created from information provided by local schools. A child might be selected for a wide variety of reasons.
We get a list of children in need, and what we do is we then set them up with a hero, and they get to go shopping so that they can have a Christmas, okay? Because some kids don't get to have a nice Christmas, and so that's what we try to provide.
On the morning of Friday, December 20th, dozens of volunteers unloaded trucks and sorted food in the Cirque building as the Lions Club prepared to deliver food and gifts to over 200 families and 90 senior citizens. The Christmas Basket program is an annual event that brings the community together and ensures that families in need can put food on the table and presents under the tree this Christmas.
It's such a great community event. We have a lot of fun with this every year. It's the Lions Club's probably our best event of the year for helping out the community. We have a list of over 200 families that need our help, need food and gifts and everything to make a good Christmas for them. And the community just jumps in and helps like you wouldn't believe with donations and the can drives at the school. We had 2 huge loads of cans and food from the high school this year. We thought we were done, and then they called us back for another load just as big. All the schools have helped out with gifts, gift box donations, donation boxes around the community have been full this year. Just an unbelievable year for the community helping us.
And with that, we'll wrap up our look back at the stories that shaped 2019 in the Orion area. On behalf of the hardworking ONTV News team that covers the news, rain, snow, or shine, I'm Stacy Calloway. Happy New Year and have a great 2020.